Wabarakatuh. Thank you, Omid, for giving me this chance. And you people are working for this education field with various scholars here bringing every week. Jazakallah bi khair. Yes, let me start. As an educational institution, the final target for any educational institution is their students. The institution will be more happy as well as the staff will be more happy if their students are shining. They want their students to be shining star everywhere in every aspect of the life. This is everyone's wish, I can say. And this is how we want to see our students happening. Now, in this process, it is everyone's responsibility. But these days, what we realize is that before there was a joint family system wherein lot many things used to be taught at home and that used to reflect in their children's character and life everywhere as well as in the school. Now the system has changed. It is a nucleus family. In fact, the parents also feel that the character building and making the child responsible and uh, tuning his behavior in a correct way, it is the responsibility of the school. And many a times they even come and fight and argue, thinking that that is their righteous, that is their right to do so. I'll tell you something. When we were in joint family, there was lot of things children used to learn unconsciously or just being in the family. The good characters, the best things they used to practice at home itself. Now, since it is nucleus family, and many times even father mother doesn't have much time to sit with their children. Also, they might be working professionals, so they are unable to do that, and they feel that this responsibility is of the school now. Now, the school has a different vision. The problem is the school, they think that we have started the school to teach children, to give knowledge to the children, and to make them excel in their academics, whatever class they are in. In that process, they design all that lesson plans, all the daily activities, everything, examinations, results, then feedback, and again examinations, and whatever it is. Basically, focusing on the teaching aspect and the academic aspect more than anything else, because that is what is getting highlighted usually of any institution. How many good ranks they got, how many of them have passed in grade 10 or got 10 out of 10 in GPA. That is what everyone is looking at, or everyone is chasing for that one only. In this process, what is happening is we are also ignoring the other aspect of the life, which is very important and which is what will make the child successful, and that is what matters for him in the life after the school or after the academics, I can say. Now, here in the school itself, as uh, they are coming regularly, apart from teaching, we need to divide ourselves, I can say 50% for their good character building and the responsibility what parents has given to the school, the other part. Now, in this, what I say is basically The teacher has to be the role model with his or her good behavior and character. Now, how we can develop the responsibility or the good character in the students? See, we cannot just change anyone suddenly or in a day or two. It will not happen that way. Maybe the temporary aspect will only remain temporary. So, in the day to day life, wherein the children are in the school, we need to observe at particularly during the break times. Maybe in the class time, everyone are in discipline, and because the teacher's pressure or the teacher is there in the classroom, they will be in control. I tell my principal also the same thing. You need to be on rounds during the break time. That is when the children are uh, in leisure. They feel the liberty to behave freely as they wish. In that process, the real characters, many times, it will come out. Also, the important factor here is that many staff and teachers, they ignore sometimes children's misbehavior or mischief during this break time or outside their class. This is a very wrong thing. See, as a teacher or as a head of the institution or of that section, you must always feel responsible about grooming a child in a correct way, not just in the academic way. Like two children are fighting and also abusing each other, you cannot ignore. You might stop the fight and separate the children. But if you ignore the abusing behavior of the children, then that will continue. So you need to immediately make them realize that fighting or difference of opinion is common, but difference of opinion must not lead to a fight in between or to an extent that you will start abusing. Abusing is the most bad habit or a character of some filthy people. You must make them realize that point. This is just one example I'm telling, wherein you get a chance and you'll have to utilize that one. Similarly, if you are alert and attentive towards children, I'll tell you the children will also reciprocate in the same way. Maybe sometimes the children are uh, mischievous, but when they realize that you are moving around, then immediately they will be in control. That is because they know that the character of this good stuff is that he or she will not allow them to misbehave or allow them to go in a wrong direction. This way, the children will also be cautious not to do wrong things or something which will make others feel that he's a bad child. See, apart from this, you need to give responsibility, just not the monitor responsibility. Apart from monitor responsibility, other responsibilities also you will have to put many times on the children. Like the free times, you need to give them duty to regulate the children flow, like after the assembly or during the games time, or sometimes when the teacher is not in the class, you can even give responsibility to different children and give them some instructions or guidelines for them how to complete that responsibility. This way, what you are doing is you are allowing them to practice what you wanted to teach as a good character in them. So, from this They will start knowing how to fulfill the sense of responsibility being offered on them. Sometimes, even storytelling, moral stories, all these things which were there before will help them realize and think and analyze what is better. And sometimes even in these moral stories which we have the results as good result or the good person bad person stories which are there, that will make them understand that what we have to choose and what if we go in the wrong direction will be the result. So, this way, children will know what is good and what is bad, and what is the benefit of being good also. Maybe small children, for them, stories are enough, but the grown ups, which are of, I can say, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, they feel that they are grown ups and they can take the responsibility. Particularly the grade 10 children, they feel that, okay, next our step is getting into the college. That means we are almost complete. And also they have extra energy. So they want to utilize it and show that they are the boss, or sometimes they want to shine in the school. In the process, sometimes they do good things. Also, sometimes they do something wrong out of ignorance, thinking that even if I did something wrong, still I will be highlighted. I everyone will talk about me. So we need to make them realize at this point that of course you might get highlighted, but in a wrong group. So no one will choose a wrong group, no one will accept the wrong group, or no one will depend on such group. So tomorrow, when you complete the academics, when you get into the school, or even, sorry, not school, into the job, or anywhere else, into the business, or even while you are studying, when you are out of the school, children must realize the practice what they did in the school, they need to continue. They need to even guide their friends, their colleagues to behave in a correct way. That is how we need to inculcate these qualities in the school. How we can inculcate? By make them practice in their day-to-day operations in the school. For it be in a helping hand type, or for it be working together in the class with their colleagues. Maybe you give a project to make some model, something right in the school itself. Then you assign 5 children to complete that. In that case, maybe everyone will play their part, or maybe one or two feel that, I want to be the leader of this group, even the other child want to be the leader of this group. Then at this point, you need to make them realize that, first of all, everyone cannot be the first rankers or the topper, because topper will always be only one person. The point here is, if he is not a topper, he is not a leader, it is not the end of the story. You got to make them realize the importance of every person in their life, or in that small institution, even the sweeper or the ayah, their importance, we need to make them realize by making them understand their responsibility. For example, the sweeper, if he is absent in the school or she is absent in the school, what will be the status? So that day you will realize how important he or she it is. So everyone, they must know that in a institution or in a group, everyone has a role to play, and everyone's role is equally important. Here, I want to tell you that one character these days children has developed automatically is the successful character they feel. Maybe that is not correct, but with the limited knowledge they have, they feel that whatever they want, they have to achieve, or if they are unable to achieve, then parents need to support, get them achieve. Maybe they demand some bicycle or some vehicle or good clothing, anything it could be, and immediately parents have to accomplish that demand. And in fact, many times that is happening also. So the children are getting used to that whatever is required, that is getting accomplished, to the extent that they feel that it is a rule that whenever they want something, either the school, the teachers, or the parents, or the relatives, friends, they got to help them get that thing done. To the extent that now these children got an habit of getting things successful or getting things done immediately, to the extent that if they could not get something, they feel it as a failure of their life. I repeat this one, they get habituated to an extent that if anything is not achieved or they could not accomplish, they will consider it as a failure of their life. That is the reason many children or the students, they could not bear the false results or the some any achievement which is not possible, which they could not, or maybe even silly things at home, that they wanted to eat biryani, but the mother did not prepare or the father did not allow to buy that biryani, because of which they get so much upset that they do some drastic things. This happens because they are so much so used to getting success and getting the things done that even one, if that doesn't happen, they feel the pride, they feel that that is the end, or they could not achieve that one, so they have to take some drastic step, or they got to show the parents that how much irritated they are. In the process, they might even go to the level of suicide or things like that. See, this happens because they don't realize the importance of this life. They don't realize that failures are steps towards success. Maybe they wanted to get 10 out of 10 in English subject, they could not, or they have passed in all the subject in their examination except in mathematics. So that is not the end of their life. You need to make them realize beforehand itself. See, while you are doing something, certain things, it is bound to happen that everything will not be correct. Sometimes you might get wrong also. No problem. A wrong is a step, a learning step towards going right. Similarly, the children, they need to get have patience and confidence in themselves. Confidence is a very important character. If a responsibility given to a child or anyone, they must be confident with the guidance from their staff, from their teacher. They must know that they can accomplish that responsibility given to them. Like in an event, you can uh, ask children to decorate something or complete the stage or maybe anything it can be. So when you are given that responsibility, the children must understand that when their teacher has given that responsibility, means teacher has seen those qualities in them that they can accomplish that one. Now if the child doesn't have a confidence in completing that responsibility, the child will not attempt at all, or maybe start doing half heartedly. See, it is like mathematics. Mathematics, when you have a problem, before it is solved, it will be a big mountain or some task which cannot be achieved at all. Because when you see the problem, you think that I don't know how it can be done. But the beauty of mathematics is as you start doing, as you start breaking up step by step, you will realize that it will ultimately reach to the answer. So, because that kind of confidence you need to develop in the children, which means that when some task is given, maybe you are doing for the first time, but if you start cracking yourself, start moving ahead, maybe at some point you get stuck up, or you might require to redo, no problem. Because these are the learning things. You are not an expert. See, here, this is a very important aspect that every child must realize that teachers don't expect them to be an expert or to be a already learned person. Many students don't question in the class, feeling guilty that if I ask this question, maybe others think that it is a silly question, or maybe other students they might laugh at him, at her, or the teacher might reply back saying that this is a silly question or an irrelevant question, something like that. This is because the child doesn't have much confidence in himself. So you need to give some freedom, you need to give some liberty so that the child will get self confidence. See, finally, what I wanted to tell here is that children need to have a sense of responsibility. I will tell you, uh, see, in on 26th January, you get lot of children being recognized for their some special gallantry acts which they have done. Like these things, these stories, you need to take from children that this 26th January, who were the children on which fields they got this gallantry medals, whatever it is. So these children, when they know these stories, they will also realize that we must not lose a chance if we get something like that. This way, some sense of responsibility will be inculcated in them from the schooling itself in day-to-day life. I will tell you one recent story which happened here in Hyderabad, wherein there was fire in the second floor or third floor, somewhere like that. A big fire happened. Now, one of the boy, when there were many adults around, he could not wait to save people who were trapped inside. Somehow he managed to enter through the window, and he pulled out and given a way out to many of the people trapped in there. Maybe five or six he had saved them without any realizing that in the smoke and dust and the fire which is coming, he is also risking his life. But he did not give a second thought. He just entered and started pulling people out. So these are the sense of responsibility and gallantry act which we need to develop in our children. I had also seen a one. You might also see many such gallantry real life acts which are happening around. Maybe you can put a situation to the children and ask them in this case what if you are there you will do, or what is the best thing that any responsible person have to do. So these are the things will make children realize or develop the correct attitude or choose the correct thing when the situation arises so that they can start acting immediately. Let me tell you here very important or something which we ignore usually is that we will be running after the academics to the extent that we will only talk about first rank, second rank, or this many marks, that many marks, all the time, to the extent that it will get overlapped with the other responsibility what an institution has, like building the character in the child and growing the sense of responsibility, uh, bringing the character of patience and working together. And even the failure is a step towards learning. In India, it is an obsession that if anybody fails, that means he is unsuccessful. This is wrong. Like I'll tell you, it seems that in UK, if you have a startup or if you start some kind of business, and if you fail, of course, Yani, when you start a new business first time in your life, it is Yani, it is not sure that you might success in that, but you might fail. If they fail, they will not take it as an unsuccessful person for themselves. Instead, they feel proud that they have attempted this kind of business with their knowledge and investment, but they failed, and which gave them chance a step towards a learning towards a successful uh, result. So they feel proud in even explaining such failed stories. So in India, most of our culture it is the opposite of that one. So we need to remove this kind of uh, what we say that negative approach. I will say. So finally, what I am telling is teachers have to be the role model. The institution have to be the role model. Now, with more responsibility is on the institution. It is not like before. Before, more than half the character used to be built at home itself. Now people don't have that much time, and telephone or mobile is also playing a vital role in damaging the characters and mm, of the students. With this, I hope that you people have understood the vision which I wanted to give to the staff or to the institution, wherein, apart from academics, how important it is and how serious we have to be in building the children's character, making them feel responsible, and making them understand failure is not the end, and many more things like that. Thank you for giving me this chance. Salim bhai, Jazakallah bi khair, Omid. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah, Janab Naveed Basha sir. Very important points you have shared to us, sir. Practically, we must not concentrate on only the intelligent students. Ranking students only we used to concentrate. And the less ranking students are neglected most of the time. Some teachers are there who will take care of every student, but some teachers, due to because the ranking students bring them more fame, more pride. That's why they used to concentrate. But you have told that we have to concentrate even on the students who are less ranked, because in life only the backbenchers becomes politicians and rich persons. The front benchers will become employees, and many will become doctors or this one scientists, and they will be employed somewhere. But the backbenchers, they will be become the politicians. So your point is very important, sir.
Salim Sahab, one point, actually, there are other things I wanted to share. Even my own story of my own college, which was ranked last out of seven engineering colleges of Bangalore University. My college was the last one, seventh one. But the thing is, all my colleagues, half of them are successful people in US, and the rest here also are big people in different companies, or their businesses are successfully running. Actually, this was also there. My college story I have noted down, but because of the time limit, I could not explain in detail all those things.
Okay. Any other day we will listen all these stories from you, sir. So thank you very much for inspiring us. With this, we are concluding this program. Tomorrow, Sunday, in Tamil, we are having two good speakers. Umar Sulaiman Saab is there, and we are having another good speaker. So tomorrow again we will meet at 6:30. With this, the program ends. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanakallahumma bihamdika, asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik.